time to come clean with you. It's not gonna be a lot to this. Not that I do a lot of competing, but I've done some. Now the sauce. All right, folks, time to come clean with you. I have never had comeback sauce. I've never eaten it, never made it. I don't even really know what it's supposed to taste like, but that's gonna change today. We're gonna make some crispy Vortex chicken thighs on the Spider Grills giant 26-inch Huntsman, and we're gonna pair it with the so-called comeback sauce that everyone seems to swear by. We'll find out if it lives up to its name. Let's go. All right, folks, let's go ahead and make our comeback sauce now. Now, comeback sauce has 4 staple ingredients. Pretty much every recipe is gonna call for. There's gonna be mayonnaise, ketchup, some Dijon mustard, and definitely some Worcestershire sauce. Those 4 are pretty much in every single recipe. Now, there are definitely different recipes out there. I've got one today I want to share with you guys. I'll put up on the screen and in my description below as well. This is the one I thought I'd try. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. Give it a try at your place. Now, we'll start off with a cup of mayonnaise, a 1/4 cup of ketchup, and a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Now, the other liquid ingredients are gonna be a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, a tablespoon of lemon juice, and a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Now, you can go to 2 of these. I'm gonna start at 1, taste it, and see if I wanna add more or not. So I went with regular store-bought Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon. Now, the dry ingredients, a teaspoon of onion powder, teaspoon of garlic powder, anywhere from a 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon of black pepper, and a 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Now we'll whisk all this together. Now what we're gonna do, guys, when this gets all whisked and mixed together, I will take it and put it back in the fridge and let this mayonnaise and ketchup kind of gel back up and let these flavors meld together. Because you want to do that now while our charcoal's getting ready and our chicken's cooking. It should be plenty of time for this to meld together and kind of thicken back up and gel back up again. But we'll get this all mixed up and I'll put it back in the fridge and I'll come back out and put our charcoal on. All right, folks, let's get our chicken trimmed up now. There's not gonna be a lot to this because I'm just gonna do, these are just thighs that I got from Sam's. And good skin on there. I want to save some of that skin. So I want to cut some of that skin off. I don't need all that much. And then just want to be where I can fold it over. There's a little bit of skin hanging out there, meat hanging out there I don't want. Like that, and be able to put it back on there. Now I'll turn them over and season the bottoms and then turn them back over and season the tops. Let me get these trimmed up and I'll show you my seasoning. All right, folks, so here are the chicken thighs all trimmed up. Got them turned on their back, so we'll go ahead and season them. I'm gonna use, if you're familiar with me, you know I like that base from Gulf Coast Smoke. I think it's a really good base rub. A little breezy, so bear with me as I get real close here to not lose much of the seasoning. Now, all I'm gonna put on these is that base rub because there's a lot of flavors in that comeback sauce, and I want that flavor to shine through. I don't wanna be covering up the flavor of the chicken with a rub other than this base rub. So what I'll do is I'll turn these over like this, and I will season them now because I want seasoning to get everywhere, but then I wanna roll these up kind of like I would in a competition. Not that I do a lot of competing, but I've done some, so I'd show you how I roll these up. Kind of just fold them up in like a little pillow. Kind of just fold up neatly like this, and then let them sit on the grill. Now I'll put these back in the fridge until our charcoal and grill get ready, so these can kind of get back together a little bit, if you will. So there we go. Now I'll put those onto the Spider Grills Huntsman, just like this. I'll fold them up like that when I put them on there, and hopefully it'll cook like that and do real well. So I'll bring you guys back as I put charcoal into the Vortex. All right, folks, our charcoal's about ready, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the grate off and get the Vortex ready. We're using the large Vortex for this cook. It fits perfectly into this giant Huntsman, the 26-inch giant Huntsman. There's only a handful of grills that you can use the large on. I'll put a picture on the screen right now showing you what grills can handle the large, but the 22-inch kettle, for example, uses the medium, but this thing actually will use the large, which is great. The other thing, I catch people asking me all the time, why don't I just put the charcoals in the bottom of the Vortex and light it while they're in there? And I could do that, of course, but I think it's much more visual appealing to see me pour charcoal in here. Plus, you can see how much goes in, how much actually is being held in there. Today, I'm going to do something a little different because of the size of this thing. I'm going to put some briquettes in first that are already lit and pour some already lit lump on top of it. I'm doing that only so that the lump won't fall through and I can make sure I use all the charcoal I can. So I'll put a briquette base basically and lump on top of that. I do not know how much this thing's gonna hold because I've never used a large before, so I don't know how much it's gonna hold. Hopefully I've got enough here. I've got about 3/4 of chimney of briquette and a full chimney of lump, so we'll see how it goes. The other thing I gotta worry about or think about is these grates. Doesn't have the hole in the grate, right? I don't have one for the 26-inch Huntsman that has the hole in it. I don't know how much that's gonna dampen the heat. We'll find out. All right, y'all, first things first. We're gonna pour these briquettes in to form our base. Now we'll pour in our lump. Wow. like a glove. Pretty close, very well happy with that. So it was about half to 3/4 of briquettes chimney and a full chimney of lump. Now I'll put our grate back on. Let that heat up a little bit. I've got the bottom vent open, and of course, we'll leave this vent open here on the top of the Huntsman as well, so we can get airflow through there. But I'll bring you guys back when I bring the chicken out, put it on. All right, folks, here we go. We're gonna put our chicken onto the Huntsman. Lay him around the edge here. All right, there we go. Now, I normally will put rub on there, of course, guys, but I don't want to put any rub on this. I want, like I said, I want the salt, pepper, garlic mixture to kind of shine through before we put our comeback sauce on there. And I don't normally put a lot of wood on the chicken because the smoke from wood on chicken, it absorbs smoke very, very well. So if I put a lot of wood in there, it gets really dark. I'm going to put a piece of wood this time because I do want some color because I don't have a rub to put color on there. So we do a little bit of color on it. We'll put that piece of apple wood in there right now. Put our lid down. I'll bring you guys back when I'm getting ready. I'm going to put some sauce on a few of these. Some of the comeback sauce, I'm going to thin it out a little bit and put some onto some of these thighs. And I'll bring you guys back when I go to do that. It'll be the last probably 10 or 15 minutes of the cook. I don't want to put on there too long, but I want to put some on and glaze it a little bit with that comeback sauce. We'll try this comeback sauce a few different ways. That's one of them. All right, folks, so I want to go ahead and show you this. I looked a second ago myself to see how they were looking. It's been about right at 20 minutes, y'all. So there we go. Look at the color on those things. It looks fan. I know there's some shadowing back here in the back, but they all look fantastic. That piece of wood's catching on fire because I have the lid open, but let's check a temperature check here. Reading 128 right now. So we're going to go to 195, 200, something like that. So another probably 15, 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and bring some comeback sauce out. I'm going to thin it out a little bit. I'm going to glaze a couple of these to give that a try. We're going to use some for dipping. We're going to actually dunk a couple. So we're going to try some different ways with the comeback sauce. But nonetheless, I want you guys to see that right now. All right, y'all, I got a couple of thighs that are actually further along than the others. And I don't know why, but they are. They're in the 170 range. I just checked them. These front two over here. Let's see if they're still in the 170 range. 167, 170. So yeah, they're a little further along. That's actually said 180 on this one, the edge over here. So yeah, 176. So what we're going to do, they're a little closer along than the others. I'm going to go ahead and take some of this comeback sauce that I absolutely just thinned out with some apple cider vinegar. So I got it really thin. I want to brush some on these two. Just these two. Kind of glaze it with this. See how that does with these two. That's all I'm going to do with that. I'm going to pour the rest of that out. Now when I come back and they're all ready, I want to do some dipping and also some dunking. Stay tuned. All right, folks, our chicken thighs have finished. They all got right at 200, 202 degrees. They took off really quick. I had to watch them really close. So the first two got done, as we talked about. These first two, you can tell the difference in the color on those two, especially because those are the ones that put the comeback sauce on, the glaze I made out of the comeback sauce. And they got a little darker, got a little color on them, which is great. They all look fantastic. They all feel very, very crispy. Looking forward to giving these a try. So the first thing we're going to do is take a bite of one of the ones we glazed when they were about 175. We'll take a bite of that and see what we think. Here we go. All right, looks really good, guys. Look at that. Really good looking chicken there, isn't it? All right, folks, here is the comeback sauce glazed thigh on the Spider Grills Huntsman using the large Vortex. Cheers. It's very good, guys, very good. I don't taste a lot of comeback sauce. I don't know if it cooked out or what. There's some flavor from sure. But maybe I thinned it out too much a little bit, I don't know. But it tastes good, but it's not a really overwhelming taste of comeback sauce. So now what I'm gonna do, I wanna take one of these and I wanna dunk it in some sauce, the whole thing, then take a bite of it, dunking it after we've cooked it, of course. We'll pour some of this sauce right into this little boat here. Now I'll dunk this small one because I wanna make sure it fits, but we'll take this small one, just dunk it in there. We got it on the actual gelled up, if you will, for lack of a better word, sauce. So here we go, guys. This is the comeback sauce fully dunked with a chicken thigh off the Spider Grills Huntsman. Here we go. Cheers, folks. That's crazy crispy skin. Wow, I'm really impressed with the Huntsman with the Vortex on the Huntsman. I was afraid it wouldn't do that really well, but it did a great job. Now the sauce. I'll be honest, it's not my favorite. It's not bad. Maybe there's other recipes I could try, but nonetheless, it's not my favorite. It's got a good flavor. It kind of reminds me of just a burger sauce that that's out there as well. But I liked it. Not my favorite thing in the world. I don't know that I'll make it. I don't know if I'll be coming back again. But before I rule it out, let me try dipping it. I'm gonna dip this as well. Take a piece of this chicken here. Just tore a piece off of it right there. Now I'm just gonna dip it in some sauce and go straight to it. Cheers, folks. Well, I like that better for some reason. Maybe dipping is the answer. Almost the skin took something away from the one I dunked, but that was just pure meat. Actually, it was very, very good. I liked it a lot. I may come back for that, guys. That's pretty good, actually. I think the secret for me is gonna be dipping it without skin. I love the skin. I'll eat it separate, then I'll dip my chicken in that after that. How's that go? You guys, this was a lot of fun to do. I've never made comeback sauce. Now I have. Mark it off my list of things I've never done before. And I've dipped, dunked, and I've actually glazed with it as well. So I'm real impressed with the Spider Grills Huntsman. Did a great job with the Vortex, the large Vortex. I don't make any commission on it, guys. I'm not trying to sell you this thing. It's just, they're great. You don't need a large unless you've got a gigantic grill like the Huntsman, the giant Huntsman. The medium is fine for a 22-inch kettle, for example, but they're great. It always does a good job. If you're not familiar with the Vortex, get familiar with it. Get yourself one. You will love it. Does a great job on chicken. I hope you got some value out of this. Please hit the like button. Subscribe to our channel. Until next time, I'll meet you at the smoker.